Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Today's card is all full of whimsy products, both new and previous released. We're going to be making this really cute Barnyard Friends card combining both new and previously released products. So we start out by stamping that beautiful farmhouse shiplap background stamp and then randomly stamping some of the larger berry clusters from the Berry Sweet stamp set, which is new release. And then we do some heat embossing with clear for some texture, some dimension, and some shine. Now I am making a 5x7 card, and this is a 6x6 inch background, so I'll be doing some trimming on that to make it work for this particular application, but it's going to work just fine. So keep in mind that I did some fussy cutting off screen before I started my coloring. I used some elements from the Chicken Coop die set, which is a previous release, as well as the Connected Tiles frame die, which is new for February 2022. And I just love the way I don't want to call them old because they're not old, but the previous release and the new release, I just love how they work together so well, both in the dies and the stamps and just all the products that Whimsy has. They all just come together so nicely. With my coloring, you can see that I'm using my alcohol ink markers, just doing some very basic coloring, light to dark, dark to light, nothing fancy, nothing extravagant, anything like that. And keep in mind that you can use any medium that you would like to color your images. It doesn't have to be alcohol ink markers. You can watercolor or any number of things, whatever works for you. These little sweeties, the coloring of them was inspired by my love of deep red cows. Now, deep red cows are kind of a primitive breed. I'm not an expert by any means, but they just have that really deep kind of ox blood color, if you're familiar with that at all in terms of like leather. But oh, they're beautiful. And typically if they're going to have spots, they're going to be white spots, but I just took a little bit of artistic license and just gave them, kind of some blonde and some dark brown spots. But it's okay, we understand, we're just playing, right? Always give my critters green eyes because I have green eyes, so it's just what I do. But you can also see here that I am fussy cutting. I actually fussy cut both images out and go around those edges with a dark marker just to cover up the white edges and kind of camouflage any uneven cutting. And then here I'm auditioning my little couple in this frame, and then I go ahead and glue it down when I get it where I want it. You can see that left side of the image is pretty blunt, but we will camouflage that with some hay here in just a little bit. So now these guys, the chicken is in just a sweet little yellow chicken, but little pony, I am inspired by my love of palominos. When I was growing up in Colorado, we always had horses, and palominos were some of my favorite, palominos and buckskins. This one is definitely based on a palomino because it has the blonde mane versus the dark mane. And yeah, so we're just gonna watch the coloring here, and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. I'm just curious, are you connected to the country in any way? Like, do you live in the country? Do you have a farm, live on a farm or ranch? Anything like that, because that's just a way of life that is very, very precious to me, and I just want to give a shout out to everyone who is connected in that kind of way. They call it a simpler life, and in some ways it is, but it's also a very hard life, and it's very strenuous. And again, I just want to give a shout out. So let me know downstairs. And if you are connected, or if you know someone who is, or if you just think these are adorable, how might you use some of these products to support that? So you can see that I did kind of the auditioning of the palomino and the chicken on the left side, and there's also a blunt edge there as well. And now I have my chicken wire from the chicken coop die set, and I am just gluing that down, trimming off the excess from over the cows, and then I bring it down and I glue it to under the cows so that both frames are then filled in with the chicken wire on the back. And now here I am just laying down some hay beds, again from the chicken coop die set, and I'm trying to mask and camouflage those blunt edges from the on the images that I colored and cut out. So I go back and I just cut out a little bit more hay. You can see there on the bottom right, while I'm doing the ink blending on my panel, you can see that I just have some bigger piles of hay down there. So on my background here, I trimmed it down so that it would fit my 5x7 card base, and I used a corner chomper just to make my corners round to kind of coordinate a little bit better with the connected tiles frame. And then I did the ink blending around the edges and mounted it, and now I am just adding a little bit of vellum to the back just to kind of diffuse all of that background busyness with the shiplap and the berries. I didn't want to cover it up altogether, I just needed to tone it down a little bit. So after I get everything glued down, I put it under something heavy just to hold everything in place. And then there is my sentiment, hey friend. And here you can see as I zoom in, I have some hardware pieces from the chicken coop set. I just die cut them in black paper, colored them with a silver paint pen, and then I've got some hardware. It just kind of adds to the overall effect of the card, and I am super happy with this card. Guys, let me know what you think. Do you think it's a cute card? So let me know that downstairs. Let me know your thoughts in terms of being connected to the farm way of life, or ranching, or just a country person. Just let me know. Let me know what your way of life is downstairs. And if you are interested in any of the products, everything will be listed and linked downstairs for ease of shopping. And as always, I thank you for spending some time with me today. I'd love to meet you downstairs in the comments. So drop me a comment downstairs, like, subscribe, all the good things, and I thank you so much. This is Nancy, the Handy Scandy, and I'm out. Mwah!